What's going on, all my loyal Dragonites out there in the Dragon Den? King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mythic Legion's Figura Obscura, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. But before we have a look at the Monkey King, let's take a look at today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is brought to you by the Jewel Gallery. Jewel Gallery, home to the largest selection of jewelry in the Southwest. Rings, necklaces, pendants, and other fine jewelry. Jewel Gallery is also the home of the one and only Jewelgram. So come in and find your fit at the Jewel Gallery, where it's all about the ring. So here we have the Monkey King out of the box, and oh man, do we have a lot to go over, so let's actually run through his accessories. Sun Wukong comes with 2 very well done head sculpts, as well as 4 face portraits which all look really nice and are painted wonderfully. He also comes with 3 pairs of hands for various posing, 2 pairs of feet including the cloud walking boots. He comes with the gold banded staff, the scrolls of the Buddha, the wine of the Jade Emperor, and an immortal peach. Very good accessories here with the Monkey King, and they all fit with the story very nicely. So with the accessories out of the way, let's run through the Monkey King's details. Sun Wukong is an excellent example of craftsmanship. The sculpt work and paint applications on this figure are absolutely fantastic. There's so much love on this figure, from the sculpted armor bits to the soft fabric, it all comes together nicely. Taking a look at his head sculpt, Sun Wukong has a really good head sculpt. The 4 horsemen did a wonderful job sculpting the Monkey King's head, and it looks fantastic. The 4 horsemen spared no expense when painting this figure. His eyes are done nicely, there's some red around his eyes, and the paint on his fur is top notch. The golden circlet which is sculpted on his head is painted beautifully, and the gold looks very good. Where this figure shines the most is in his outfit. They did a fantastic job with his armor. First, taking a look at his soft goods scarf, it looks very good and it has a wireframe in it. He also has some beads which are painted and sculpted wonderfully. And there's so much going on with his armor, from the jade colors to the reds to the golds. Everything on his armor is sculpted and painted perfectly. The way the light reflects off the gold is exquisite, and I absolutely love his collar piece. The 4 horsemen went above and beyond sculpting his pauldrons. The way it looks here on this figure is very nice. Dragons adorn the top of the pauldrons, which are sculpted beautifully, and we continue that chainmail look on his pauldron. And underneath his pauldron, he has a very nicely sculpted shirt. The shirt continues onto his bracers, which look amazing. The silvers look perfect, the gold is painted well, and the red is also very nice. And being a monkey, the 4 horsemen actually sculpted very impressive monkey paws on him. His belt also has that same dragon head on it, because it was a gift from one of the Dragon Kings. Looped through his armor rings is a really nice red wire sash. Draping past his waist, we do have his chainmail, which is also painted wonderfully here. And the belt piece on him is done very nice, so we have a really nice jaded pattern on it. And underneath all his armor, we do have a really nice tunic, which is done in red and is wired as well. He has a chainmail codpiece, which underneath that codpiece is another wired tunic. And finally, getting down to his greaves, they are sculpted wonderfully, continuing that dragon motif. The golden greaves are painted wonderfully, and it does appear to have some wash, bringing out all that fantastic detail. And as you would expect, being the Monkey King, he has a pair of monkey feet on him. And his feet are painted really nicely with a really good wash throughout his fur. And finally, he does have a really impressive wire tail on him. His tail continues that impressive sculpted detail, as well as a really impressive paint job. There is a lot of detailing here on Sun Wukong, both in sculpt work and paint applications, and I do apologize if I missed something. With his amazing detail out of the way, let's finally get him compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Sun Wukong posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. the Lightning Collection White Ranger, and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Sun Wukong posed next to the rest of the Figura Obscura lineup. The Monkey King fits in very well with the Figura Obscura lineup. And he has some pretty good size to him, which is also another nice thing about him. But with the comparisons out of the way, let's finally move on to his articulation. The Monkey King has a ball joint in the head. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. Single bend in his elbow and rotation at the elbow. Basic swivel hinge at his wrist. A ball joint in his lower torso. Legs kick forward, back, go out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. Single bend in his knee. He has rotation in his armor, rotation in his foot, hinge in his foot, and forward facing pin for rocker ankle. And finally, his tail is on a very sturdy wire frame. Unfortunately, the articulation isn't what you would expect being a Mythic Legion's body. And all the armor kinda does get in the way, but he still poses really well. So with everything said and done about Sun Wukong, let's actually move on to my final thoughts. The Figura Obscura line has been impressive to date, and Sun Wukong here is another great example of what the Four Horsemen are all about. Fantastic paint job, fantastic sculpt work. This figure has a lot of love and care put into him. All the accessories that he comes with are very accurate to the story of the Monkey King, so it does show that the Four Horsemen put a lot of care into this figure. Everything on this figure comes together really well, from his armor to the fur. Everything about him just screams the perfect Monkey King figure. In case you're wondering, being a Mythic Legion's figure, he is compatible with other Mythic Legion parts. This was one figure that when he was announced, I absolutely knew he needed to be in my collection. I love the story of the Monkey King, and Journey to the West is another fantastic story. If you haven't heard it, I really recommend you look it up. With all the love and care that went into this figure, it's no wonder why I absolutely love the way he came out. Yes, his articulation could be better, but me knowing Mythic Legions, I knew what I was getting into. Now, unfortunately, at the time I'm making this video, Sun Wukong is no longer available on the Four Horsemen website. If you can get hold of this figure, you will not be disappointed with what the Four Horsemen have done. If you're a fan of Journey to the West, you're definitely going to want to have Monkey King here in your collection. And before we go, I want to take a moment to thank the Jewel Gallery for once again sponsoring this video. And as always, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other action figures. And as always, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other Figura Obscura lines and the rest of my action figure reviews. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, and other goodies, and ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my fellow Dragon Knights coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 telling you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.